Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Monday, June the 26th, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Golden Foil Tarot cards. So we have Temperance, and it's like we've learned how to live in the flow of life. Yes, life does get frustrating because it's just like, if you're like myself and you see the patterns, financial patterns, living patterns, we see the ebbs and flows in life. And it's like we know I just keep coming back to Tina Turner. She's like, as she got older, she's like, my life got better. And it's like, I definitely feel that. Like, I never thought in a million years that I would ever live in a world where Shane wasn't here in the flesh. Like, honestly. Like, not in a million years. Maybe when we're older, but not the way the things went down. But you know what I mean? It's just like, I sit there and I look at where I lived. I moved out on my own, started a family. It's just like, we worked hard to get to a certain point, and it's just like, watching Joe Coy's special over the weekend with my son, and it really resonated. Where it's just like, some of us have to work a little harder than others to get where we need to go, but once you accept that you're always going to have to put a little bit more oomph into where you're going, it's like you will get those places, because it's not always easy. You know what I mean? And it's like, why do we have to work extra hard? We're probably breaking generational gaps. Others didn't work to get where we needed to go. So now we're picking up the weight of that, to sit there and make sure that our children don't have to endure the same, that they don't have to endure that, uh, difficulty. Where Steve Harvey, even Joe was even saying that, Joe Coy, where it's just like we work hard so our children don't have to, so they can live out their life and dreams because we encourage them. We are like, you want to do that? Go for it. You know what I mean? It may not come easy, but you'll do it. Wheel of Fortune. There's one rock left in the way, but they were showing in my mind's eye that the wheel was slowly moving forward and it was clearing a path for us. And we're walking through this cornfield, and it's fall. It's about to be harvest season. The air is cool, and you can see that the husks are ready to be harvested. You know what I mean? And it's just like we don't know what's going to go on in this corn maze, but it's like it's clearing it and opening up to something. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just trusting that, once this wheel gets moving, it's just like, I know we've been here for so long, but like the universe said, we're protecting you right now. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I know we were just talking about that moving situation today. They should be done building those townhouses in September. So it's just like waiting for that to unfold. You know what I mean? And it's like working hard to achieve those goals. You know what I mean? We have the high priestess. It is in a position to have patience. She's showing in this cycle to have patience, with everything that's going on. And I feel like it's just like, it sucks when we have to work a little bit harder than others, where others just get things falling into their lap and they take it for granted, But I feel like it's also teaching us to appreciate things when they do come into our life. And I teach my children that, no matter what it looks like, there's always something to be thankful for in those moments, We work hard so we can enjoy certain things, That's just the way that it is, We have the double, and I feel like this is touching on Gemini energy. I feel like this is like the new moon with double Gemini when we're in their shadow thoughts, and I feel like it's just like, you know what? It's just like we're in control of our thoughts. I was obsessively thinking about them. Like, why am I obsessing about this? That has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? It's just like when I'm like, why? Let the person live their life. You can sit there and only say and do so much, and people are going to do what they're going to do, It's just like, we can't control what everybody does. You know what I mean? As much as we like to protect them all, it's just, we can't. It's just, people are going to do what they're going to do. We have the Eight of Pentacles here, and I feel like it's just like, in this phase of work, this phase of, when they're talking about financial things, it's like, we went from lack to, and it's like, this triple tax coming out in Canada, it's just like tax upon tax upon tax. It's like, come on, you know? It's just like everybody's working more hours. People are working 15-hour days, just to sit there and make it, and they're just like, oh, they're still thriving, you know? So let's tax them again. It's like they just want to bring us to our knees, I'm telling you. It's just absolute garbage, you know? Like, why do we have to work 15-hour days just so we can make it? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's just like we're allowed to have some sort of life, But I feel like with this, I feel like you're just like happily in it. I feel like you're in this really good flow. I feel like you're just thriving in everything you do. Probably more eyes on you than before, but I was talking to a coworker about this. I was just like, how the pressures are often, like when it comes to like prescriptions, that used to cost like $80, a month is now, I pay more than others when it comes to benefits because, got kids and stuff, but it's just like, it's worth it, just to have that peace of mind. God forbid I need something. I have the ability to take care of it, It's just, even like with myself, I had a really nasty cough or cold, or I just couldn't get rid of it. I got medication for it, and they're just like, oh, sorry, your benefits don't cover it. I'm like, can you run my card? And I gave it to them. They're like, oh, and they're just like, oh, well, we don't have this one. I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. Now you do. It's just like, that way you could get the proper medications that everybody needs, It sucks at one point, but at the end of the point, it's just like, it gives you that peace of mind. Like, somebody needs something, we got it, Nothing we could do about it. It's just the way the world works now. Page of Pentacles, this flow coming in. Pay attention to your dreams. They told me one number, I wrote it down. Told me a name, wrote it down. Then they kept repeating this number. And I kept saying it. I'm like, okay, wrote it down. And then I looked up the actual angel number meaning of it. I was like, whoa, like this is deep. Like it was like, I think probably a page and a half of what it all meant. And a lot of things, it's like kind of like positive, like what I needed to hear. Like, when you're on Survivor on Big Brother and you get a note from home, it's kind of like that. It's like, you get that note from, it is from home. I always say, like, I feel like God is like that tree in Ori, and it's like, you go out, and then he once in a while he calls us all back, and then we get put back into the world again. It's if you ever play that game, it really pulls at your emotional strings. But I definitely feel like there's this TikToker. Never came across her before. Came across my For You page, and she's just like, everything resonated. I was like, all right, started following her. But I didn't search her out. I didn't even know who she was. So it's just like sometimes those things are meant to come across your path because they're like you're in need of guidance right now. You're in need of encouragement right now. It's just like sometimes we don't get those things from the people around us. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's the way that the universe communicates with us to keep going, keep pursuing those paths, keep pushing forward. Because they're trying to encourage you to keep going forward. And it's just like, even Joe Coy said it, look, his first special, Netflix called him 2 days before he started filming and said, we're telling you, we don't want this, and he was just like, oh my, like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? He's spending all of his money, putting all of his money into it. He made a meeting with Netflix after he was done. He edited and everything, brought it to them again, and they said, stop shopping around, and they bought it. He has 4 specials in now. If he didn't believe in himself and what he knew he had, he wouldn't have done the things that he done. Reached the heights that he's reached. The audiences that he's reached, So that's what I mean. It's like sometimes we got to sit there and put it all in and bet on ourselves. And that's exactly what he did. He knew who he was and what he brought to the table. So it's just like, it was just a matter of time. He believed in himself. And it's like, if someone else will. And they knew that. But I feel like you're going to be in this flow. Keep saving it. They're like, keep spending it. Keep saving it. There's going to be things that we're going to need to buy, So it's just like, keep, save. be in that flow, you know? Like, I really did sit there, and that's like the happiest time of my life is when I was a surrogate and raising the kids. That was the happiest time of my life. That homeschooling the kids when they were really young, and we would do music and we would do arts and crafts. We would do school, but it's like doing faith classes and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? It's like it really, really touched, base. Like now they do their own things. Like they're making their own, channels and this and that, and they still do school and everything like that. Like the curriculum, we follow the curriculum, but it's just like, you know, watching old videos of them dancing around and stuff like that. Just going to the park early in the morning and stuff like that. I was like, that was the happiest time of my life. And I know there's gonna be more moments like that. You know what I mean? High school and all that is just like, ugh. But we all know as you get older in high school, you know what I mean? You get like spares and stuff like that. But the kids always like doing something artistic or something like that. So it's gonna be amazing to see what they thrive and grow into be. But I feel like a lot of parents are feeling like reminiscent right now. Like even, I see people start posting like, let the summertime begin, you know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, like let's build memories. It's like I remember like purging my camera and it's like there's nothing there. You know what I mean? And it's just like now it's just like, moon and the stars. Well, obviously the cameras have improved since then, but it's just like, you know, there's so many things around us. Sometimes I've always been observing things around me, but that 6 years there, like, wasn't even 6 years, but the first couple of years there till 2019, it's just, even in 2019, I felt like I was just participating, but it's just, when you actually get to start enjoying everything again, it really does feel bittersweet. You know what I mean? You went through this bitter moment, and now you're beginning to feel, embrace the sweetness again. I feel like this is why when I saw this, peek out of the deck, it's just like, I knew, like, I just turned it over and I was just like, whoa. It looks like a pinwheel, but it also looks like a wheel, and it's right by the Wheel of Fortune, and I just feel like the whole family is just going to get into this time, especially because the kids are off, they're woo-sowing, you know what I mean? They're not all angry and stressed out with school, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, getting back to what's important in life. But this is where I feel like this rebirth is in. I feel like the rough times are over. I feel like things are manifesting for you. But that's what I feel like. It's just like, those messages, those things that really reminisce, some of us got to work a little bit harder to get to where we want to go, and remember that, you may have to work a little bit harder than anyone else, but it'll be sweet when you get to that time, when you get to enjoy life's pleasures again. They're showing me like I would film like the kids when they're doing school and stuff, and I just happened to be filming Michael. he killed a fruit fly and then he ate it. I was like, what are you doing? I still have it. I'm just like, oh man, I missed them when they were small. They're still sweet and everything like that, and make me laugh and everything. Like, you're just like, what the hell? You just happen to have your camera on. You're like, here. Oh man, but enjoy those moments. Enjoy like being with each other. Like honestly, when they get older, those moments will be far and few between. Because they'll have their partners and start living their lives, and you know what I mean. It's just cherish that time. They're so sweet and cuddly when they're small. They always say that to me. How come you hold the dog like a baby? How come you don't hold me like that anymore? And I'm like, for one, you're 6 foot. It's like, how am I supposed to hold a 6 foot tall child? And the other one's taller than me. I think he's like 5'6" now. It's just like, oh my goodness. But it's like, I swear, like that commercial really resonates. It's like, live your time, like, even when you're not at work, like, just like live it like you're retired, sit there and just enjoy life, like, like even gardening, it's just like everything, I found this crazy crawling plant and I always would chop it down every summer because it would crawl out from underneath the deck, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this thing's such a pain, and I'm just like, it started to grow, and I'm like, hey, this would look like cool going through the fence and everything, so I picked it up and started winding around, and I noticed these flowers starting to bloom. I was like, whoa. you know? I was like, maybe it's wild roses, but it's these cool white flowers. They're really pretty. And it's like all these bumblebees are around now. It's really like, I'm allergic to wasps, but I don't bug the bees. Like I film them at a distance, but just to hear them humming and stuff like that. But now we had one constantly here. Now there's a second. So I feel like as more of the flowers bloom, there'll be more and more around. I haven't seen my hummingbird again, but we did see a ladybug again. Poor thing. Brought it in the house for Michael, and then he lost it. Found it again, and he put it outside. But just those simple little pleasures. Enjoy it. But that's why I feel like this is encouragement to pull forward. I just feel that confidence. You know what I mean? Like, where you kind of not puff out your chest, but you just stand tall. You don't sit there and slouch into yourself anymore. It's just, you're coming into your own again. Don't let anyone take that fire out. Keep building that fire inside of you. Things will come into your life that will really encourage you when you need it the most. Because something's about to come, and it's just like you need to have that with you, that confidence, and know that you're deserving of it. This is what you worked hard for. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Monday, June the 26th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card.